A group of Arab smugglers hunt for spiders in a Middle Eastern desert. These spiders were so rare that they could fetch much money by selling them illegally. After trying for a long time, a man finds a spider's bill. After dousing a nest with poison gas, a lot of spiders emerge from the nest and one of them gets bitten. The man cries in pain while the others net them with plastic containers. The bitten man is killed by his companion with a machete. The survivors escape in their truck. The scene shifts to Paris where sneaker dealer Kaleb is buying from thief Marquis. Kaleb sees the same rare spider in the store and buys it along with a pair of earrings. Coming back home, we see his sister Manon repairing the house. Here we find out that their parents have died and now they are living together. After packing up his room, Kaleb comes into his store to check his inventory. Then Mathis comes there with the stolen bicycle. Kaleb is also a thief, but now he has started his shoe business. Mathis tells him that he only did this to pull a prank on janitor. Kaleb tells him that he must sell Tamani his sneakers soon as they need money to survive. He finds a damaged shoebox and goes inside to change it. Seeing the light of his room switched off, he becomes angry at Manon. He tells her that there are insects that can die at the low temperature. Manon tells him to do something else and they argue too much. After that, Kaleb didn't find any jar and kept the spider in the shoebox. Then he goes to attend the farewell party at his mother's friend Claudia's home. Kaleb gives her earrings which he bought earlier because he takes Claudia as a mother. She is overjoyed to see Kaleb on the mend and dances with him. After the party, Kaleb returns home but he doesn't find the spider in the shoebox. Kaleb gets upset because this spider is very venomous. Unable to find it, he takes Tamani's sneakers and sleeps in the living room. The next day Kaleb argues with Mathis, Jordi, his former friend, and Jordi's girlfriend, Lila, all of whom Manon invited over to help with renovating the house. Kaleb sells Tamani the sneakers, after which xenophobic resident Gilles approaches and suspects them of dealing drugs. Gilles asks him to be like his sister, telling him that she is working for me. Tamani gets angry after listening to Gilles and leaves. Tamani tries to put on the shoes but a spider comes out of them which he kills. After killing the spider, its babies crawled out of a sneaker and bit him. Jordi and Mathis are checking the insects and Jordi tells him he buys them from Runge's market. Mathis asks him, "You were also pet insect," but Jordi says, "I stopped and he should stop too." Kaleb comes in and asks them to leave while Tamani calls him but he ignores his call. Jordi asks him about the dictator scorpion but Kaleb doesn't answer. Lila and Manon also join them in the room and Jordi starts telling Lila about the insects. Lila asks Jordi about Diplopidae which can be grown to 14 inches. After hanging up on Tamani several times, Kaleb leaves his room and covers its door with a towel. The infection causes Tamani's eyes to bleed and he dies in agony. When Jordi and Mathis return, a neighbor asks them about Tamani, telling them that his dog keeps barking. Kaleb and his friends go to see him but nobody opens the door. They break the apartment's door only to see him dead. Police arrive and the residents ask the sheriff about the situation. Sheriff tells them to go to their apartment until they complete the investigation. Gilles is adamant that Tamani died of a drug overdose as a result of his earlier transaction with Kaleb, who categorically denies selling him drugs. Tamani's body is wheeled away by authorities, who put the building on lockdown, causing panic among residents. Kaleb and his friends returns to his apartment and Manon asks Kaleb about selling drugs to Tamani. Kaleb tells her that I only gave him the pair of shoes and asks her to stay away from this matter. Jordi says he didn't die due to the drugs and his arm indicated some kind of infection. A cleaning lady sees spider webs in the basement and starts spraying. Lila goes to the bathroom and screams to see the spider. Jordi rushes in and attempts to catch it but fails. Then he kills the spider but spiderlings emerge from it. They barricade the room and Jordi asks Kaleb about the spider. Kaleb tells them it's not mine but Manon asks him, "If it's not yours then why do you keep a towel under the door?" Mathis tells him, "We're on your side," and Kaleb tells them that he bought the spider but it was not that big. Jordi and Mathis argue Kaleb but he tells them it's a deserted spider and will die soon at the low temperature. He hands Jordi the shoebox containing the cocoon his spider made when it escaped. Jordi and Mathis seal it, horrified that spiders have reproduced inside. The cleaning lady finds more spiders and sprays again. This time a giant spider attacks and she falls from the stairs. Jordi, Lila, and Manon decides to leave the building but Kaleb and Mathis refuse to leave. Manon asks them to call police for help but Kaleb says the police can't help us. Kaleb calls Manon a selfish who don't care about the apartment and neighbors. Jordi also requests him to leave but Kaleb says, "I won't go about Mosa, Ben, or Claudia." Kaleb and Mathis leave to find them and asks Jordi to wait, they'll return after 15 minutes. First, they go to Mosa and knock his door but Mosa sees a giant spider and doesn't hear them. Mosa attempts to kill the spider trees to kill the spider, but it attacks him. Hearing his screams, Kaleb and Mathis runs toward Claudia's apartment. They break the door and inside find her dead and see a spider inside her body. Jordy, Lila, and Manon also find the dog is dead and a giant spider coming out from its stomach. Now the spiders had killed many people in the building. The infestation worsens. The spiders have grown exponentially and are reproducing rapidly, killing more residents. Kaleb and Mathis run back to Jordy, Manon, and Lila, who learn that the spiders belong to the Sciarde family. Discovering their escape plan, Gilles attacks them with a baton. Gilles blames Kaleb for all of this and wants to check his room. They try to stop him, but he doesn't listen and goes inside. Gilles finds the sealed shoebox he thinks contains narcotics and is attacked by the spiders inside. The group hears his screams and runs to save their lives. En route to the outside, they see spider webs all over the building and Manon asks them to run toward the parking garage. Opening the door, they see thousands of spiders crawling all over the place. They carefully tread an infested hallway using the time-sensitive hall light to periodically stop the spiders, but fall back in darkness when police gas and shoot at them, during which Jordy gets caught in a web and urges them to leave him behind. Upon learning of the spiders' sensitivity to light, Mathis uses the fireworks to aid their escape to the roof. They reach Gilles' room, where Kaleb regrets cutting off his childhood friendship with Jordy, after having learned from Lila that even though Jordy ratted him out to the police when Caleb's pet iguana bit his leg, he would always dismiss it as an accident so that nobody would think badly of him. After a struggle with the police, the group is apprehended and taken to the parking garage, where the lieutenant defends the lockdown, which Kaleb dismisses as a failure, as it did more harm than good. Mathis, after revealing he had been bitten, sacrifices himself by charging through the door leading to the infested hallway, igniting a battle between spiders and armed men. Lila unties Kaleb, who then tells her to stay in her car while he finds Manon. He is reunited, albeit shot in the leg, with Manon. They break into a van, where she puts pressure on his wound. They patch up their differences. As spiders close in on them, Lila's headlights suddenly shine at them, allowing the siblings to escape with her. They are spared by a large spider blocking their path, and Kaleb opens the garage door. Later, Manon and Lila tearfully watch the suburb collapse, while Kaleb buries a shoebox containing a childhood photo of him and Jordy in the woods. Kaleb takes a spider crawling on his shoulder in the palm of his hand and blows it away. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos.